So excited for that VR. Got a little HTC Vive coming. Oh, Amazon, you do me good. Should be there. Can't wait to open that bad boy up. Oh man, Ray should be here any minute. Can't wait to do that video for Nerds of War. Oh man, it's gonna be... Why is my door open? Are you kidding me? What are you doing? Are you kidding me?
What's up, guys? It's Ray from Nerds of War, and I have my good friend Pete with me. He just bought the HTC Vive.
That I did.
And we're pretty excited to open it up for you guys because I'm too poor to afford this. So hopefully you guys are just like me or just like him who could buy this. And let's have some fun with this.
Let's do it.
Hey Pete, I know exactly what we could use to unbox this. Hold on.
Okay, what?
I know exactly how we're going to open this, Pete.
Are you fucking kidding me? No!
No, this is a great idea. It'll be epic. It'll be thunderous.
Thunderous like my ass.
Just like Asgard.
Alright, when you put it that way, let's do it.
Trust me, if it breaks, you can replace it. So obviously you're not a fan of the hammer when it comes to opening this.
No. That's...
Alright, let's get into this. Since you bought it, it's clearly yours, open it up and let's see what this is really about.
Cool. Let's do it.
Nice little box.
Boom. Nice hefty box, man. That's nice.
Now, as you're opening this, like, what possessed you to, like, actually buy this?
To buy it because I was very interested in the concept of VR from the time they started talking about the Oculus Rift to the time they mentioned the Project Morpheus for PlayStation VR, and even when they came out with the Vive. And I was just really thinking about it, and all reviewers and game developers, they keep saying that for the most intense VR experience, you would have to go with the HTC Vive. So yeah, I was just like so excited about it, and then I tried PSVR at Best Buy, the local Best Buy, and I loved it. I loved the experience of it. And then when you look up the technical specs, since the resolution is better, it has the room scaling, so it's even more immersive. Running on my graphics card on the computer that I just built, there's no way a console's gonna touch that, so I figured, screw it, I might as well dive right in.
Let's see, because this seems very complicated, and again, for everyone out there, I am not a PC Master Race type person. I plan on getting a computer pretty soon, but let's see what this is about. Clearly, this is probably like an instruction manual or something like that, but...
Yeah, it looks like a quick start guide, kind of. Alright, so basically it shows you the different room scaling options you could do, because there are two little base stations that they're called, that you set up throughout the room.
Can you explain that, like, better for everyone who's, like, just curious about this? Because I'm not 100% knowledgeable about this. I know, like, little bits, but I feel like you would know better than I do.
Alright, sure. Well, I'll show you when we actually get to taking those out, but there are two little cubes that come with the HTC Vive, and they're like trackers, I guess you could say. So like for the Oculus, you would need a camera that faces in front of you. For the PlayStation VR, you would need a camera that faces you.
Okay.
With this, you set up these two boxes on opposite corners of the room, and it reads everything in that space. So it gives you the option of not only having seated experiences and standing experiences like the Oculus and the PSVR, but also room scaling experience, so you can actually walk around your room and have that actually take place inside the game.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, it just shows you like different options that you could do, what with furniture and things like that, like a standing and seated option, and then the actual room scaling option is in there.
All right, so let's see what this is really like, the actual gear to this.
All right. So I guess since I was just talking about the base stations, you want to see those first?
Yeah, see those first.
Alright, so let us take these out. So this is one of the base stations. This is the other one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're just kind of like little cubes. Like I said, you just set them up in the corners of your room. Now, I've been watching a lot of how-tos on how to set these up.
Yeah.
And HTC recommends that you put them up high, at least like 6 feet plus.
Okay.
But I've actually watched people try to do it 3 feet on floor level, and it actually seems to work fine if you do that.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Do what you want.
Yeah, as long as it works.
Yeah. And you know what? These things, they're not too heavy. I mean, they got some decent weight to them. They're well built, good quality.
Feels very light to me, honestly.
Oh, yeah. And the best thing is it has a little screw thingy in the back, a little screw thingy on the bottom. So if you wanted to, you could actually buy like tripods and mount them.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you didn't want to like mount them into the wall or something like that.
No holes in walls.
No holes. So
all
yeah,
right,
that
so
is definitely
the next part. Which how many parts? You know. All right, we'll get into that later. But
all right. I don't know. What do you think we should take next?
Just take out what people want to see. Like
what
the
people want to
headgear.
see. I don't know. I'm going with the controllers
Okay,
first.
never mind.
Because these are some weird space alien things.
It kind of looks like a piece of armor from Doom. It's just like
it
you
totally
just put
does.
this on. It's just like. Oh, it comes with 2. Okay.
Doom guy approved. Yes. Yeah, the great thing about the controllers is that you have this big touchpad, right?
Okay.
And now the touchpad you could obviously press in any direction that you want because it's just one giant circle. It's almost like a mouse
Now,
on a laptop.
The bigger question is, does this vibrate? For the ladies at home.
I believe it does, but I gotta actually
Mental note.
Hold on. There's a little vibration there. Just turning it on, so I guess they vibrate.
No.
I don't know. Yeah. So, like I said, it's a big touchpad, like a mouse on a laptop.
Okay.
And the cool thing is, in a lot of games, or at least the gameplay that I've seen of them, if you're holding your controllers up in sight. So, for instance, the Lab, the Valve game,
Okay.
the Valve experience, I guess you could say. When you hold up the controllers and you look at them, you can see what each part of the pad does.
Oh, nice.
So in game, you could actually like see like, okay, this does this, and if I press it here, it'll do that. You know. And the really cool thing I think is there are these little grip buttons. So if you squeeze the controller, that's an
pretty cool.
action. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
And what I like about this, like just like really knowing about it, is that it feels very comfortable.
Oh yeah,
as it is. Like
it doesn't look it. It looks like
I look at it, it's like, oh, this is
strange.
weird, but like, and then you hold it, it's like, wow, like this actually could work out very well.
Oh yeah, it feels very comfortable. It's actually very balanced, even though it looks really top heavy.
Really not.
It's
like,
very balanced.
Most of it's right here.
Oh yeah, it's really balanced, very light. It feels well built. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like there's a lot of seams on it. Just really running down the side, and that's it.
I kind of like how this is already tied.
Oh yes,
because like I know like if you got like the freaking Wii U and stuff like that and had the controller, you had to tie that yourself.
Yeah,
and a lot of people like myself, I'm not good at that, so I kind of don't want to deal with this. So that's very convenient.
Well, for $800, they better tie their friggin' controller straps. All right, so we got the controllers here. All right, now the part everybody has been waiting for:
the actual headset.
Oh yes, oh yes. You know what's the best part about this whole setup is the box itself. It's much different than the launch box when it first launched.
Really?
Because now this is basically like a carrying case in and of itself. So if you ever wanted to transport it somewhere, I don't know if you guys could see this, but
it's so much easier. Like,
it's got a slot for everything. It's basically a carrying case, so you can take it anywhere you want.
Yeah, nah. Generally the box just feels nice. Like, I don't know, like,
yeah.
That's like me as like a gamer. I like having my boxes like when I buy consoles and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
And like, you know, having like a good stable box, like, and it's so weird to talk about that. Like, it's just like, oh, I really like the box. Like, I really like the box.
Oh, I love the box.
But you know, like, I love the box. Like, I don't know what else to say after that. It's so good. But just to have that, you know, that you could put everything back in with no problem, you know, just in case you have to transfer, move, or whatever you have to do. It's good that they make like good quality, you know, box, headset,
oh,
systems,
absolutely.
everything.
There's foam padding in there for everything, so even if it gets a little rattled, it'll still be fine. Everything's well protected. But the headset, yes, this is the bad boy right here.
It kind of reminds me of like that thing from like the Matrix. Like it kind of just needs to stab into your neck real quick and just like
yeah, definitely.
Weird.
I mean, it's got enough cords that it could probably do some damage. Honestly, like I feel this, and yeah, the headset's like decently heavy. It's definitely heavier than the PSVR that I've tried out. I think it kind of just feels that way though because all the weight is in the front.
Yeah.
And the PSVR, I feel like it's more evenly distributed throughout the whole thing. But honestly, most of the weight is just this cord. This is crazy.
I mean, the way I see it in like
that.
I personally I tried this on, as you guys could see from like the first part of the video, but
Bastard.
but honestly, like he said, like all the weight's in the wires, but that's just because it's tied right now. Like honestly, once everything's plugged in and stuff like that, like. It feels like nothing, like, and everyone has their own opinion on like what weight is, but this personally, it just feels nice. It's not like really heavy on your head, like it's really comfortable. You could tighten it, just in case it's too loose or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's 3 different straps that you can loosen and tighten if you want, and then there's also another knob here that is for adjusting the lenses. So even if your eyes are a certain distance apart or whatever as compared to someone else's, you could actually still get your own customized feel to it.
But no, I definitely dig this. I dig the feel, the one thing I'm looking forward to is actually just seeing this in action.
Oh, me too, absolutely. I mean, it's going to take a little while, obviously,
yeah, of
because
course.
we have to set up the whole room scaling. But one major feature that this has that all the other VR headsets don't is this here front-facing camera. You see? There's a camera right there.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. So with this one, you can't actually see just like a straight feed from the camera, but what you can see is when you activate it, it'll split the screen in half. You'll see what's in-game at the top, and at the bottom, you'll see an infrared version of everything that's around you, and that is being broadcasted through these lighthouse boxes. And so since these work with infrared, that's what you see through the camera.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you can actually, like, if you want to take a break real quick and want to get a drink of water or something like that, you can actually turn the camera on, so you could just walk over to your fridge, grab a drink, whatever, without having to actually take the headset off.
Nice.
Which is actually a really cool thing, because once you have it on your head and you want to adjust it, like, just how you like it, putting it on, taking it off, sometimes, it'll get loose, it'll get messy, and you just have to redo it, so it's actually better just to keep it on the whole time. And it actually also, from what I hear, keep you immersed in the VR experience for longer.
That's awesome.
So because it doesn't completely just put your vision back in the real world and it just separates it a little bit, it's kind of like you never left, if you know what I mean. So it just helps. All right, and then we have one more little box here that I'm gonna take out. You like this little box? I know how much you like boxes.
I love boxes, but this is pretty interesting because I'm not obviously like how I am with my background with wires and stuff like that, like HDMI, your simple, USB ports and things like that.
Yeah, this actually runs on USB 3.0. So obviously, if you have a PC that doesn't have USB 3.0, you're kind of screwed. So you definitely need that.
Yeah. Which, by the way, quick side note, HTC actually has specs on their website before you buy this.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, if you're looking deep into it, HTC, gives you the specs, tell you what your computer should have and things like that. And, like, honestly, like, when you want something like this and it's so advanced and we're, like, so far in the future we're gaming and things like that, you really want, like, a really good either custom build PC or just something that's on top of the line, what you could buy in store.
Yeah, and I highly recommend building the PC yourself because not only do you save money, but it's actually kind of like a skill that you learn, and it helps a lot with getting to know everything about VR or gaming or things like that, because before I built my PC, which was a couple of months ago, I didn't know how many gigs of RAM was good. I didn't know what graphics cards were good,
Yeah.
And just doing your research on trying to buy parts for a computer to build a computer will greatly improve your knowledge of all kinds of technologies.
Even Joe from Nerds at War, he actually built his PC.
Oh, awesome.
And if you guys have our Instagram or follow our Instagram, you can see the PC that he built. And I'll definitely take a picture of Pete's PC just to throw it out there because honestly, you can't see it on camera right now, but it's fucking beautiful.
Thank you.
I personally, I wish I could build that, but I don't even have the space right now to actually have that. So I have to go with a laptop. But that's in the future for now.
Yeah, man. All right, so let's get back to this little box here. So you probably can't see it because it's really tiny, but it's marked VR with an arrow this way. and PC with an arrow that way. So obviously all of these cables right here are going to run right into your PC.
Mm-hmm.
All these cables right here are actually the ones that are attached to the end of the headset. And so, bang, you plug them in, you're good to go. When it comes down to it, yes, you're paying $800. Yes, it's the most expensive right out of the box VR system there is. But in the end, you're actually getting what you pay for, if you understand what I mean. Because you're getting 2 chargers for the controllers, you're getting a charger for the headset, you're getting everything. You're getting HDMI cords, you're getting every single thing that you need right out of the box. The only thing, obviously, is the PC that you need. I don't know, we were actually just talking about this earlier, about Oculus.
Yeah.
I believe, right?
Yeah, we was.
Okay. So, Oculus, now, they just announced their motion controllers. So, obviously, this comes with the motion controllers, right?
Yeah.
$800. Oculus, how much is Oculus?
It's at least 1,000 that I know of.
600.
6?
I got you.
Oh, okay.
Oculus is 600.
That's how much I know.
So Oculus is $600. So off the bat, you would think, oh, okay, this one's cheaper than that one. And as far as specs go, they're not really that different with the exception of the room scaling.
Okay.
So if you were just an average consumer, what would you wind up picking?
Probably the cheaper one, just to save money.
So when you buy an Oculus, you know what kind of controller you get with it?
I'm assuming the motion.
No, you get an Xbox controller, an Xbox One controller. Yes. And the motion controllers have not yet come out, but a leaked version of, I believe it was an Amazon page for the motion controllers came out, and they priced it out so that if you bought the Oculus Rift and the motion controllers, you'd be paying the exact same amount of money for the Vive. Yeah.
So that's how they get you.
Mm-hmm. So basically, when it comes down to it, that $800 you should probably put towards the room scaling, because you're kind of limited when you're only standing in one spot or sitting in one spot. Actually moving around the room actually greatly attributes to the VR experience in itself.
I know companies, they do certain things, to get their money and stuff like that, but obviously you've done your research with this, I haven't, so it's clear to me, like, if I had like a Super Master Race PC and stuff like that, and I wanted to get into VR, I would definitely go with the Vive then, because, get everything at once instead of paying everything separate. So it's
absolutely.
a lot easier, too.
Yeah, definitely. One more thing about the PC that you need in order to run this, if you have Steam, Steam offers a free download of a VR performance test.
Okay.
And that's what I did on my computer, like as soon as I built it, as soon as I had it up and running and everything. I downloaded this VR performance test off of Steam, and it'll tell you if your PC, how it ranks as far as the performance of VR. So mine was like at the max that you could possibly have, but there are like different levels that you can reach. So at least it's a good gauge to know like what graphics you should set your games at and things like that in order to run them well in VR.
Okay. Before we leave off, obviously this is just an unboxing video, but I want it to be a little bit more than that. You personally, as a consumer who actually bought this, what are the main games that you are looking for when it comes to this? Like whether it be like horror-based, action-based, like what's the most that you want out of it?
The most that I want out of it, I'm definitely interested in trying horror games. It's really strange. It's almost like I watch horror movies nowadays, and I'm not afraid anymore.
You don't get scared anymore.
You just don't get, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this. I'm
yeah,
sure there's
obviously
so many
not.
people. And so this I definitely think would help, especially being inside of the scenario. I think that changes the entire landscape. So horror games definitely. I'm excited. I'm like half and half excited for shooters. Obviously first person shooters. It's like you don't even have to say that word in VR anymore. It's just like shooters.
Like imagine it's like, oh, I'm playing a third person VR game. It's like how's that work? How's that gonna happen?
It kind of loses its point. But I'm excited for that just to see exactly how accurate these controllers can be. Because I have actually pretty decent aim. So what I'm most excited about is I want to find a good fantasy game.
Yes.
Like Skyrim-esque, because obviously I know Skyrim is not going to be able to be in VR.
Yeah, of course.
But a Skyrim-esque game, like just fantasy, spells, swords, axes, all that kind of stuff.
I know I'm a huge fan of fantasy games like yourself. So thank you so much for inviting me to your home, showing me this.
Man, anytime.
You know, like, again, I couldn't afford this. I'm glad that you was able to come here and just call me up and be like, yo, like, check this out, you know, come, you know, see how this is. And then he actually suggested for the video to be made. He was just like, yo, like, let's do an unboxing. I was like, yeah, let's do it. You know, I didn't even think about that, you know, especially since how our channel works, we do reviews. So this is like our first unboxing. So
yeah, man.
I'm glad and I appreciated it.
Listen, dude, anytime you want to check it out and try out some games, you let me know.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully we'll do, again, thank you so much for inviting me to your home, allowing us to see what the unboxing is for the Vive. And hopefully we could see more about it, you know, hopefully from you. If you decide to start something or you want to work together again, that would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely, man. Anytime you want, I'd love to work with you.
Or definitely. So, well, that's the unboxing for the HTC Vive. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you again on the next Nerds at War video.